The judgment. Lawyer Kalen and prosecutor Ilgaz. In their fight to ensure justice, they have the same passion. However, while struggling on this path, two legal people whose methods are at opposite poles. The more rule-bound, honest and strict Ilgaz is. Kalen is just as borderless, unregulated and rebellious. That's why every time their paths crossed, they clashed, tested each other and stayed on opposite sides. Until life crossed their paths again. Ilgaz, brought to him as a murder case. He is caught unprepared for the shocking blow inflicted on his family by the corpse of a woman found in a garbage container. His brother Sinner is seen as the main suspect in this case. Ilgaz needs a good lawyer to save his brother, so he comes to the brink of a tough decision. All the features of Kalen that he never approves are like the key to the iron bars that will be closed on his brother. Kalen and Ilgaz. At this turning point, which they never expected to meet, while questioning the truths that they thought indispensable until today, they will also find themselves floundering in a sea of secrets that they do not know how to swim. Love trap. Kerem is the handsome and flirtatious son of the Yigita family, one of the oldest textile manufacturers in Istanbul. With his creative intelligence, he has made the family company, which is about to succumb to time, the leader of the sector with a startup work. He did, but his father did not become a man in Muhsin's eyes. Because Kerem is someone who lives his life with the motto of eating, drinking, traveling, dusting and getting honey from every flower. Working as a worker in Kerem's workshop, Aisha is a smart, beautiful girl with a benevolent heart who lives a colorless and unpleasant life under the control of her two older brothers, one of whom is a despot and the other a benevolent one. Her only hope is to marry Berk, whom she has been in love with for a while, and leave this life behind. However, when her brothers want to marry her to Sabri, the rich boy of the neighborhood, Aisha tells Berk that they need to get married as soon as possible. Hearing this, Berk disappears. While she was a modest, pure and good-hearted neighborhood girl, Aisha, who was hit by blows from both her family and her love life, decides to do something for herself for the first time in her life. Kerem, who is the biggest factor in making this decision, is also unaware that he will be the victim of Aisha. Aisha becomes the founder of the game by making the move that will bind Kerem and herself together for life, but this game will get in their feet in a way that they cannot get out of. Twist of fate. Once you have believed that your fortune has turned its back, it is not easy to overcome bad luck. But Ada, who has grown up among women who believes that will be happy if they marry the first men they fell in love with and who have not succeeded in doing so, is about to put the spoke in the wheel of destiny. Ada is abandoned by Ruzgar, which she believes was her first love, while Ada wants to reclaim Ruzgar on the path of happiness, but she confronts Bora. A challenging and romantic journey awaits Ada, who is stuck between her love and faith. More beautiful than you. In Sendendahaguzel, Efsun is dragged from her idyllic village home and into chaotic city life when her long-lost mother Pervin reappears. In this moving story, the kind-hearted Efsun struggles to adjust to Istanbul's high society until she finds love. She then blossoms, overcoming personal rivalries as she finds her way in life. Pervin abandoned Efsun when she was 6 to become a top plastic surgeon. 21 years later she tricks the now successful dermatologist Efsun into coming to Istanbul to help run her beauty clinic. Pervin will not take no for an answer, even threatening to take away Efsun's farm unless she agrees. Efsun struggles to adapt to the world of plastic surgery and the surgeon Khan, with whom she runs the clinic. But he evolves from being an arrogant womanizer as he begins to fall for Efsun. They become drawn into a passionate affair that transforms her attitude to life in the city. Efsun starts to see that city people have different stories to tell and problems to cope with. Overcoming the difficulties of a lonely, stressful urban life, Efsun and her colleagues become close, solving each other's problems and growing to be like a big family as they share their tears and joy. Forbidden fruit. Zeynep and Yıldız are two sisters who are very fond of each other but whose dreams are completely different. Yıldız's life changes when she meets Ender Argan, the queen of society. Ender decided to use Yıldız to get rid of her husband, Halit Argan, and offered Yıldız the offer of her life. While these things happen in Yıldız's life, the company where Zeynep works is purchased by Alahan Tazdemir. Alahan is an extremely arrogant, rich businessman. The contrasts of Zeynep and Alahan soon turn into an interaction. What Zeynep doesn't know is that Alahan is Khalid's partner and his second wife's brother. Yıldız's decision will affect not only himself, but also Zeynep. The Troublemakers. It is about the experiences of Apik Gumusku, a woman who devoted herself to her family when she started working as a psychologist in the police department as a result of the events that shook her life deeply. Apik's detective interest, which has been her passion since childhood, will often bring her against the Homicide Bureau chief, Zahin Kara. The Troublemaker is the fun story of these two characters, which are diametrically opposed to each other, decorated with detective adventures. Firefly. Firefly Turkish drama story revolves around the life of a young couple Barry's and Asli. Barry's is a successful divorce lawyer, who never believes in love. Asli is an intelligent, friendly, pretty girl who is full of life. She is a driver of a luxurious car and meets Barry's in her car. Asli and Barry's meet each other and their lives take an exciting, Barry's understand the reality of life. The story is full of romance, emotions and entertainment. Heartbeat. Aliel is a rebellious young girl who has changed schools many times and teachers do not want to deal with her. Her father does not even have a tear when he takes her from the last school she was expelled and beat her. However, on that day all their lives will change. He leaves her with her grandmother in Marmaris where she have a small hostel. Ali Asaf is not known why he came as a successful doctor from Istanbul in a countryside village to be a teacher. Yet it is an extraordinary entity that will once touch the lives of people and change everything. This will save Aliel from the edge and make her a successful surgeon. Two lovers, yes, no matter how much they deny, Ali and Aliel fell in love. He leaves and years later they meet again as two doctors. This is the story of the challenge of life as surgeons of a girl who has begun to succumb to life, nothing but anger. A man who will give her the courage at the same time. It's a guide that keeps your hand and you can do it. The person we want all of us to have in our lives. Love on Duty. Naz, who graduated from the police academy, with the first place and burns with a passion for duty, and successful police officer. Mir, the wanted name of civil duties, have to work together to catch Tarık, Turkey's big mafia boss. In order to gain the trust of Tarık, who does not trust to anyone and is not close. Naz and Pamir have to approach him, pretending to be married, and move to Tarık's house opposite. Even as they work together to catch Tarık and bring him to justice, some disagreements cause problems between the two. Love, Logic, Revenge. Love, Logic, Revenge series will tell a story that extends from the logic marriage of waitress Ezra and engineer Ozan, who lead a meager life, to love. Ezra will learn the fact that love does not feed her from her mother and will sit at the wedding table with Ozan, whom she has set her sights on for a rational marriage. However, when Ozan's goals in working life clash with the hope of changing Ezra's standard of living, the marriage of logic will also crumble. The inevitable end will come with material and moral problems. After the divorce, Ozan will open a software company and become very rich. His paths will cross again with Ezra, who started to work here, and the love aspect of the business, which will develop with vengeance, will thus emerge.